Good morning. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on today's call. Today, I want to talk about advanced planning and why you need to understand these concepts. I think this is an area that can help you grow your business, help your clients, and really put you in the position of being a wealth strategist that allows you to be the quarterback for your clients' planning. As you start looking at the planning process, I think, it all starts with gathering information. We need to take the time to get it right. A lot of clients, as they start into the planning process, aren't sure what information needs to be, shared. But the more we ask, the more we're going to understand really what is it that our clients have, what they're trying to accomplish. But the more we understand about them, their family, their business, their finances, the more we're going to be able to help them. So take the time to do that part of it right. As you look at the whole planning process, it's always based on our clients' goals. And so as we're working with our clients, we need to be asking those probing questions. What are their goals? And don't be surprised when you start the planning process that some of your clients don't understand what all of their goals are, and that's okay. Because the planning process, it's a process. It's not a one and done. It's an ongoing review, revise, implement as we go along throughout the years. And their goals are going to change depending on where they're at in their life and their family and their business. But we want to stay on top of that so that we understand and can help them base their planning as close to their goals as possible. As I look at a lot of the planning, I think this is appropriate that if we're not getting the right information, we're not going to get the right results. So garbage in, garbage out. It really is on us to help our clients to understand and be able to work through all of these planning goals, objectives, and concepts so that we can get the right planning result and they can have the result that they want. As you start into the planning process, after you've gathered the information and understand more of your client's goals, it's time to look, open up your toolbox. There's a lot of advisors that only use one tool. And I think that's a disservice to our clients because they expect us to solve the problem. So the more tools we have in our toolbox, the more that we can help our clients to really achieve what they're after. It also helps the more that you understand these planning concepts, the more that puts you into the role of being able to help the other advisors create a cohesive plan. And as you look at this list, and this list is not a complete list, these are just a lot of the planning tools that are available. Some of these are going to be financial tools, some of them are estate planning tools. Some of these, apply only to business owners, estate planning. All of these tools are just tools in the toolbox. The more that you understand how these tools work, the more you're going to be able to help the clients bring together a cohesive plan. One of the things that I see that happens in the advanced planning process, somebody has to be the quarterback. Somebody has to make sure all the different professionals that are helping that particular client are, one, looking at the tools, and two, making sure that they're coordinated. A lot of the planning, it's not right or wrong, but what's the best fit? And so if we're talking to the financial advisors, the insurance advisors, the attorneys, the CPAs, we're able to start pulling all of this together. But the more you understand of how these tools work, and not only just how they work, but how they work together, so that we don't get our client into a position that they can't make changes throughout the years if we know that changes might be necessary. So as you look at this, I come back to, why should we know the advanced planning tools? So that you are there working with all the professionals to help make sure that all of this planning is integrated together, and we're helping our clients understand what it is, how it works. but more importantly, it helps you spot the opportunities. And if you're not aware of the tools, you may miss the opportunities to help. I've been in cases where I've been brought in to talk about the estate planning. And as we're talking about the estate planning, and in our data gathering and everything else, we realize the business is a big part of their financial picture. Well, if we ignore the business planning, one, we've missed an opportunity to work more with that client. But number two, we may have put our client in a bad position in their overall planning. So we want to be able to look at it. Is it a business need? Is it an estate planning need? How is all this going to come together? And if you think about this, when we're working with a client, we're really going to put this puzzle together. We're going to figure out what puzzle pieces the client has. So it might be the family protection. It might be the estate planning. It might be the business planning. But as we're bringing all of this together for us as advisors, it really is one where our goal is to help our clients, complete their puzzle. So part one of this in the data gathering is figuring out what puzzle pieces we're even working with, because no two clients are the same. They might be similar. You might have worked on a client last week that's similar to a client this week, but nobody has identical puzzle pieces. And as you start looking at what are these puzzle pieces, it's going to help you start to put this picture together. And as we work with our clients, the last thing we want to do is don't let somebody else finish the picture. As I'm working with a lot of the various advisors, I might be working with an attorney on the estate planning. And what is that estate planning attorney focused on? Well, they're focused on the estate planning tools. And that's good, but it might not be perfect. If you think about the business planning tools, the business planning attorney and the CPAs, they may have come in and said, okay, you need a buy-sell agreement. Well, that's great. But what about the funding for the buy-sell agreement? And at least have the discussion. Do we need life insurance? Do we need disability insurance? What is it that's going to complete that puzzle so that the client has the opportunity to review the different goals and objectives, and also talk to the various advisors to make sure they have as complete a puzzle as possible. Now, don't be surprised as you're working with a client that, we have to do this in chunks. Maybe their ultimate goal right now is to make sure that their family protection is in place, that they have their revocable living trusts to avoid probate, that they have enough life insurance in place to make sure the family's protected. Maybe then it's the next step as we work on their retirement. It's okay to do this in chunks. And for a lot of clients, especially the more complicated their planning is, the better it is easier for them to understand this in bites. So go ahead and say phase one, we're going to work on the family protection. Then take a breath. Phase two, we're going to work on the retirement planning. But we're always doing this in a cohesive manner so that we understand what the goals are, what the objectives are, and ultimately what the final plan is going to look like. With the understanding, as we review and revise that, the plan will shift. But there again, understanding the advanced planning concepts allows us to make sure that all of these tools are being looked at. We have all of the clients' real information. We have all of their goals, and we can put that puzzle together in the best way for our clients. So as we get into more of the advanced planning tools, it really is look at it from your standpoint. How best can I utilize these for my clients? Making sure you understand what it does, how it works, so that we can make sure it's a cohesive plan for your clients, and they can get the planning that they need. I appreciate everybody getting on. If you do have questions, feel free to reach out to me and we can have more of a one-on-one discussion. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you next week.